Tribe do pick a carry, then another captain will likely be banned in that second ban by the side of Vision, just to try to limit anything that they can. But with the Lyra first pick, this is something that Max Green is also very, very good on. Again, very good on basically any of the captains, but Lyra specifically allows him to be very, very aggressive with Dienzio in the lane. It allows them to put additional pressure on the enemy laner while maintaining a fair amount of sustainability for Dienzio. So this is a great pick. It's obviously also a healer, so that kind of almost matches what you can do with the Grace on the side of Vision. So I just think overall Tribe have played this draft really well so far, and there's the Varya ban.
Yeah, I was going to say, we might see Varya make it all the way through if neither team really wants to play her, but it is going to get banned away. So I do actually really like the Grace pick there from the side of Vision. Even though Varya was open, the fact that they picked up that Grace, it forced the hand of Tribe to have to grab that Lyra, because, like you said, if they didn't grab Lyra gets banned by Tribe and all of a sudden, or by Vision, and all of a sudden Tribe has to go down to a 5th support, which very likely would be either a Fortress or a Lance or a Finn at that point, but it's still something that they didn't want to have to do. But by banning away the Sky early, that just allows Tribe to grab themselves this Rona, and they just banned away one of the stronger counters to the Rona in that Sky. So Vision Gaming gonna have to, obviously, I would assume that they have something in mind to go up against the Rona, because you don't ban away the Sky when your opponents have the next pick unless you know that you have some way to deal with a Rona pick.
Yeah, and the Sky ban, incredibly, incredibly questionable there. There's not really any hero left that has quite the impact on a Rona that the Sky does, just due to obviously her constantly being able to stay away from Rona. Now, there are other picks that, if everything falls into piece correctly, can work well into the Rona. Kroll, one of them. Blackfeather, if you get a lead early, can be one of them as well. But I think this is a mistake by the side of Vision, in all honesty. That Sky ban, pretty unnecessary, even though it is something that Dienzio likes to play and excels on. By taking that away, you've now taken that away from yourself. You've given Tribe a huge advantage, and the draft isn't even over yet.
At the same time, though, they kind of got put into a rough spot, because if you don't ban the Sky, all of a sudden then Tribe can just pick that up, and we know Dienzio plays an exceptionally good weapon Sky, or they can flex it down into the jungle as well. But like you said, I'm assuming that they had something in mind, but the fact that they're using so much of this bonus time, maybe they didn't quite have a plan for what to deal with a Rona. Obviously, the Kroll, like you said, it's one of the picks that can work well against the Rona, but you need something that can deal with her in the lane. Oh boy, this is the Vision Gaming special of going for yesterday. Wow. We saw it as a lane carry Kroll going toe-to-toe with a Blackfeather. We could see the Kroll in the lane once again, but this time in the hands of Kaz. And Tribe, they're going to go with the Saw pickup once more to deal with a Kashka. This is some unconventional drafting that we are getting treated to here, Denomine.
Unconventional drafting, but exciting drafting. And, we have to imagine this is going to be a Kroll in the lane up against the Rona. As you mentioned, we saw them play it the other day. Kashka, while she was once very, very OP in the lane, when you could build, an Aftershock and 2 Crucibles and 2 Fountains and a pair of boots, but that's no longer the case. So Kashka, going to look to be aggressive in the jungle, is actually pretty decent into the Crystal Saw, because as soon as he drops that Suppressing Fire, you can use your Pouncy Fun, you can use your Twirly Death, and thanks to your movement speed, you can get out of that Suppressing Fire very easily. Even with the Roadie run, since you haven't taken a ton of damage from the Suppressing Fire, it's not going to do a massive amount of damage. And from there, you can really just lay the hurt onto a Saw. I'm still really, really worried about the Rona. While the Kroll and the Grace function fairly well into the Rona, they're going to have to split so heavily when team fights break out to prevent Rona from building stacks with the breaking point hitting multiple targets, or rely on one of these stuns. And against Tribe, landing a Yummy Catnip Frenzy, I'm not going to put my money onto it, so it's going to have to be that Holy Nova or the From Hell's Heart.
Yeah, it's definitely their work is going to be cut out for them, but there's the opportunities will be there. It'll be obviously the reflex blocks going to be extremely important, and that's going to be one of the big concerns for me. Is if they do get the reflex blocks in a Crucible, that should be enough for them to deal with everything that comes out from Vision Gaming. So Tribe, I feel like they definitely have a bit of an advantage in this draft if they don't get run over early by this Kashka. Things could get very, very dicey for Vision.
Yeah, it absolutely could. And the Kroll in the lane, while he will have the potential to get a lot of gold early on, I do think he can potentially be bullied out by this Rona, just because in this early portion of the game, yes, Kroll might have sustained by using his Spectral Smite, but if Rona's able to get in, get a couple attacks down, and then use Into the Fray to get out of the range of that Spectral Smite, Dienzio can slowly, piece by piece, start chipping away at Kaz's health, and Kroll takes a long time to clear lane minions. So we've got a fight breaking out here over the Treant.
Treant is going to go to Tribe, but Max Green, he is getting jumped on. TiVo, however, gets turned around upon, and they get the first kill. Dienzio still in the thick of things, but he's going to be falling down, making this a 1-for-1. However, the fight is not done. T-Tigers, he's going to get the healing thanks to the Lyra, but it's just not quite going to be enough. So a double kill going over to Kaz to start this one off. Shaded Talent, got to be careful. You don't want to go too risky sticking around this enemy jungle. That may be exactly what just happened. Kaz is going to steal away at least one more jungle monster. Once he realizes that Dienzio is chasing Shaded Talent, he's going to stick around and try and take a second one, but now he's going to be in trouble from T-Tigers. Fights going on all over the place. Dienzio does take out Shaded Talent in the end. Kaz, just trying to stay alive, is not going to be able to, as he does fall as well. So all of a sudden, Denominate 2 minutes in, and we've got 5 kills on the board.
It's been non-stop fighting between these two teams so far. I think now that everybody's respawn has set them so far apart, we'll have a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a break here. But it was an actually really good start for the side of Vision Gaming, despite having the Kroll. Dienzio stuck in the fight long enough that it allowed Kaz to come through with a full stacked Spectral Smite, healed him back up, and then because of the long cooldowns on this Saw early on, when Kaz then turned his attention onto T-Tigers, he was able to build up those stacks, reduce T-Tigers' damage, come in with another Spectral Smite, and they were almost able to find a kill on Max Green too, but in the end, Max Green lived with maybe 1 or 2 attacks. They did bring down Kaz, resulting in a 3-2 lead for Tribe, but Vision Gaming, again, they've really come into a Vainglory 8 position, and they've proven time and time again that they can stick with the Vainglory 8 teams. And, going up against Tribe and holding your own against Tribe, what better team can you really put them against to show their stuff?
Yeah, I mean, that's the reigning world champion, and they're world champions for a reason. Kaz, though, in the lane, the biggest concern is going to be when this Lyra is there as well. Lyra can harass Kroll for days and make things very difficult, so it kind of puts Kaz in the spot where he has to either go all in for a fight like this, where he's trying to get the kill on Max Green, can't quite secure it. A nice Holy Nova stun, though, will keep Dienzio from being able to find a kill for himself. Now here comes T-Tigers rotating up as well, just to keep everyone at bay. And all of a sudden that, 3-on-3 potential is there, but I don't think either team is really going to commit. Each team really only looking for opportunities when they feel like they have a numbers advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dienzio made it out just by a sliver there, and that's one of the big benefits that this Rona has over the Kroll. The Kroll doesn't have any way to get out of combat if he gets ganked. His only way to really survive is by fighting, right? So if you're on the run with Kroll, you're losing. But Dienzio on the Rona, if there's a gank potential that comes up, obviously, as we saw there, TiVo, Kaz, and Shaded Talent all jump onto Dienzio. The Bright Bulwark from Max Green goes out. The Into the Fray is used to get out of the fray by Dienzio. And then Rona's just safe, popping another Imperial Sigil on him can bring him back up to respectable health. And then from there, it's very difficult for a Kroll Kashka Grace combo to actually push a turret down. Whereas Rona and Saw, they actually have a pretty substantial amount of objective control damage.
And the other big thing is going to be actually how Dienzio and Tribe deal with pushing in this lane. When you're up against a Kroll, you've already mentioned it, Kroll doesn't have great wave clear, so you're going to be pushing this wave very frequently. underneath his turret. And then do you try and rotate at that point, or do you stick around and put pressure onto the turret itself? Thus far, with the exception of, I think, one push where Dienzio went underneath the turret to try and apply pressure, it has just been push the minions up and then go and rotate and look to either farm up with T-Tigers in the jungle or try and find a kill, on this Koshka if they can catch her out of position. But I feel like against a Krull, they should really try and take advantage of the fact that he doesn't have that AoE wave clear, and when they push these minions up, just go underneath the turret and start working on the turret instead, because Krull's going to take a long time before he can clear them out. Tivo gets caught a little bit here, but will get plenty of healing. However, Shaded Talent has to run, but Kaz in the meantime has taken down T-Tigers, putting in a lot of work on this Krull. Very similar to what we saw yesterday out of PvP Warrior, but now Dienzio, he's trying to find Tivo. Can't quite get the kill onto that Koshka, the movement speed being just a little bit too much. And Kaz, he's looking to go after Max Green. Spectral Smite, will it be enough for a kill? Not quite. And this is the second time now that Kaz has come so close to getting that kill in the lane. He's now given up. He knows that he can't get away from Dienzio. But if he had just gotten one more weakness stack before the Spectral Smite came down, maybe he gets that kill on the Max Green, and it ends up being an even trade, but very unfortunate for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at the builds, while I understand the Serpent's Mask on Rona, it's very, very good at helping her sustain, I'm kind of surprised we don't see a Poison Shift come out here. You're up against a Grace and a Krull who excel at sustained fights. Krull, every single one of his basic attacks in a fight heals him for increasing amounts. And he has the Poison Shift, as well as that Spectral Smite can heal him as well. So there's a lot of sustain on this Krull, and without a Poison Shiv, Dienzio either just has to totally out-damage the healing, which will be difficult because of Kaz's ability to shut down damage coming out of Rona with his weakness stacks. It looks like he may be going for the Breaking Point second, which I do agree with. I'm interested to see if that third item he does overlap that Poison Shiv in just to try to cut them down. It'll probably be dependent on how the fights go.
I don't think he does. A lot of the Poison Shiv versus Serpent's Mask is really just how you're going to play the Rona, and I feel like Dienzio wants to spend more time just spinning inside of the Red Mist than he does using those basic attacks. The Rona can apply mortal wounds just through her kit as well, so it doesn't become it's not as crucial as it would be on someone like, say, a Vox who can't apply mortal wounds otherwise. But right now, Dienzio going in, doing some good damage, jumping over the wall so he can continue farming. His tribe, they aren't terribly interested in looking for these fights at the moment. Even though they've been able to find a lot of kills, they really just want to get pressure on the lane, start getting these minions pushed in deep, and just focusing on farming up, getting to their next item spikes.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dienzio does have a mortal wound on his foe splitter. Not as easy to keep it up and maintain it, but here we go.
Yeah, there's that Red Mist on all three targets. You can see the amount of work. He does get stunned, but they've already got the kill onto Tivo. That Red Mist when you Red Mist on 3 targets, it is just impossible to kill a Rona at that point. So great work by Dienzio positioning himself in such a way, but also kind of, you have to look at Vision Gaming with a triple melee composition into a Rona. They're just inviting those 3-man Red Mist spins onto you. So they're going to have to figure out some way to deal with that. Otherwise, they will not be able to find another kill onto Dienzio this game.
Yeah, when that Red Mist comes out, instead of colliding onto Dienzio, if you don't have a reliable stun that you can land to cancel it out, you need to split up. You need to make him spend his Blood Rage so that he can't continue to use the Red Mist. He has to get more hits in to be able to use that ability. Because as we saw there, once that Red Mist is down and all 3 of you are sitting on top of a Rona, you can't even count one by one those breaking stacks going up, because it's just stacks of 3s as that breaking point goes from 0 to 20 in like just a matter of seconds. And at that point, you have this big burst of weapon power on Rona, and Krull, while he doesn't have his breaking point complete yet, if he does go down that path, it's going to take him a substantially longer time to actually build up any stacks. And that's one edge that Rona does have here, is her ability to ramp up damage very, very early on in a fight, especially if you commit yourself to it.
Yeah, well, this is a fight that's not going to be committed to by either side. as it looked like they may have thought about it, but everyone does back off in the end. We're about to hit the 10-minute mark, and this is always a really good time to really take a look at the CS differences, the gold difference. See, it is about a 3,000 gold lead for Tribe, but you look at the CS numbers, it's 12 CS advantage for Dienzio in the lane, and about the same in the jungle for T-Tigers over TiVo. So the fact that both of these carries on the side of Tribe have a similar CS lead means that they're going to be pretty comfortable with their current strength over their opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. And as this game goes on, the Kroll, the Grace, the Rona, the Saw, they're all going to get more and more powerful. I'm a little worried about this Koshka, though. Through the mid game, she is going to provide a lot of burst with that Aftershock, specifically because of her low cooldowns. She's able to get that ability or that effect off several times during a fight. But as we get into the later portion of the game, I mean, Dienzio has an Aegis, but oh, hold on here. This fight looks like it might be breaking out. Shaded Talent.
Yeah, Shaded Talent's going very low. Dienzio doing what he can to keep on him. They're targeting T-Tigers, but he's just going to roadie run to the other side of this fight, trying to get everyone grouped up again. Divine Intervention does go out to heal up TiVo, and they're able to drop T-Tigers. Can they take down Dienzio now? A nice stun will prevent him from being able to output that much damage. Another Divine Intervention onto TiVo, but they're just going to be backing away from this one now. You got to figure, although TiVo is feeling confident with a full health bar, but he doesn't have a ton of energy, so he's not really able to get a lot of damage down. Dienzio hanging around just in case the members of Vision Gaming do try and go aggressive onto Max Green, but also to make sure that they cannot push up underneath this turret. So one kill does go through to Vision, but they're not really able to capitalize and do anything off of it.
Yeah, they haven't. They were able to take down T-Tigers, which is great. But, you know, as we talked a little bit earlier about the speed that a Rona can build up Breaking Point versus a Kroll, the Rona had 9 Breaking Point stacks before Kaz got his second. Rona reached 20 Breaking Point stacks when Kaz reached his 5th. So, you know, you can definitely see the substantial speed that Rona is able to build up this ability. And that can be very dangerous, not specifically for Kaz, but TiVo. If TiVo gets targeted once Rona has 20 Breaking Point stacks, as well as building into the Bone Saw now to cut down on some of that armor that's being built, then it's just Dienzio can literally burst Koshka out of a fight in just 3-4 attacks. And that's going to burn a lot of utility out of Shaded Talent too.
Looks like Kaz trying to go in a little bit, get some damage done onto any target he can. T-Tigers quickly throws out a suppressing fire and gets a lot of damage done for just throwing one ability, to be completely honest, onto both TiVo and Kaz. Forces members of Vision to have to back away. Tribe, they're playing this one a lot more cautiously than they played game number 1, not wanting to overcommit. They know that, you know, if they do get caught in these stuns, they could end up going down, even though they have reflex blocks on all 3 members. And of course, Max Green's reflex block is a Crucible, so they have plenty of tools to be able to prevent those stuns from happening. They still are not playing, you know, they're not playing loose. They're playing very close to the chest, very tight with their movements, not wanting to overextend and give options to the side of Vision Gaming to get themselves back in this game.
Yeah, and Max Green has done such a fantastic job clearing out Vision and then trying to keep a slight Vision bridge over into the enemy's base through the tri-bush. And it's very, very effective, especially getting into this later portion of the game, because you don't want that Yummy Catnip Frenzy to come from a bush. You don't want a From Hell's Heart to come from a bush where it's going to surprise you and allow the side of Vision Gaming to get that ambush that they want. So this game is going to come down to Max Green really setting up any kind of execution for his teammates. We've already seen T-Tigers get dropped very early on in these fights, because once Kroll and Koshka get onto him, it's only a matter of time. They both have gap closers. We have 3 stuns onto a very immobile target. So T-Tigers definitely going to be their first target throughout all points. And then we'll have to see how they play it trying to take down Dienzio. We have the Shiver Steel now complete for Kaz. They could potentially slow him up, back away from the Red Mist. And once all that Blood Rage is burned, they can look to turn back into the fight and hopefully build up any kind of aggression that way.
Yeah, the Red Mist is on a very low cooldown, but that is still a window of time that you have if you are able to kind of waste the first red mist or land a stun. You have a small window of time where you can get a ton of damage down, where the Rona's not going to be building up that fortified health. And we'll see how that they try and take advantage of that. Dienzio did go ahead and get himself a bone saw, which, a lot of times on these Ronas, we don't see a third offensive item, and it's going to be coming to a fight right now as they get a lot of damage in. Dienzio does jump out, though, because he took a lot of damage. The Atlas Pauldron from Shaded Talent was able to slow up the attacks coming out from everyone, so they weren't really able to get the amount of effect that they were hoping to. But look at where the teams are. Kaz, he's kind of out in the middle of the lane. That's not where you want to be starting a fight from. As a Krull, you want to be able to try and start from a brush, and it's taking a good bit of damage here as well. So Tribe, again, just focusing on just his harassment. Now we're going to go back in. T-Tigers is getting melted. The Divine Intervention will keep members of Vision Gaming alive. T-Tigers gets stunned up by the Yummy Cat and Frenzy. He will go down. Meanwhile, Kaz built up a few weakness stacks. Now he's just targeting onto Max Green, forcing him out of the fight. Dienzio is trying to take down TiVo, but TiVo is able to play safe underneath his turret. Kaz was not able to chase down Max Green, but now Dienzio, he's in a rough spot. He will find a kill, just not fearing this turret whatsoever, going in and getting that kill. See if Kaz and Shaded Talent are going to be able to catch him. He jumps over the wall and will get out safely.
Yeah, excellent timing from Dienzio on that escape too, because he saw the lane minions as he rotated down were coming up in, so he waits for that wave to pass, jumps over the wall, and there's no vision from Kaz or Shaded Talent. There's no way for them to actually get over the wall, shy of Shaded Talent throwing down a flare and using his benediction. No flares in pocket though, so that's not going to be something he can potentially do. And that kind of worries me, is that Shaded Talent doesn't have any room for vision right now. He needs to sell this Dragon Blood contract and pick himself up some flares or some scout traps.
Yeah, either the Dragon Blood contract or the healing flask needs to be sold. Generally, you don't want to sell a healing flask while it's available for the cooldown, because it is still a pretty strong item to use in the middle of a fight. You got to figure once the next time it gets used, it's very likely to be sold. As Kaz, he's going to get jumped on, taking a lot of damage from this suppressing fire, and of course Dienzio just doing work on this Rona. Kaz is going to be forced out of this fight pretty much completely and will have to recall. So this is an opportunity now for Tribe to try and get some damage onto this turret, but then great job clearing out these mini wave. Kaz, oh, he's stuck around though. Now he could be in some trouble. If they can get the damage onto him, weakness stacks and the smite, there comes the Divine Intervention to get him healed up a little bit, but Shaded Talent had to be in a bad spot to do that. That's 2 kills now. Oh, the portal pulls Kaz the other way. Don't know if that's the way he really wants to go at this stage. He's going to get slowed up by this pressing fire, doing what he can with those weakness stacks, but it's not going to be enough. An ace for Tribe at the 18-minute mark. That's going to be at least 1 turret, and you know they're going to be looking to unleash the Kraken as well.
Yeah, they definitely will, and that was an unfortunate situation for Vision Gaming to be in. Kaz, although he did rotate up, and Krulls, they can have some success going into a fight even on low health. I think Kaz was a little bit too low on that engage. Dienzio obviously came down in the bush. Kaz was at like a third of his health. They focused him down to a sliver, and then as soon as the Divine Intervention got cast onto Kaz, who was retreating, the whole team of Tribe immediately turned on to Shaded Talent, who's locked up during the channeling of that ability, and Dienzio having already built up stacks, and T-Tigers, we know what a Crystal Saw can do.
And having built up stacks.
What?
Also, I said T-Tigers also having built up stacks.
Yeah, but so, they just literally destroyed Shaded Talent. And again, Dienzio, when he has max stacks, he's going to take this Koshka down incredibly quickly, especially since TiVo only has a tier 1 armor. And then, as you mentioned, that portal, Kaz got sucked through the wrong side of it. It was only a matter of time before Tribe found that kill. Now they're in the base. They might be looking to close out this game if they can find a fight here.
Yeah, if they can find another kill or two, they should be able to close it out. Kraken onto the Vein Crystal turrets. Not much damage has been done to any of the players. Dienzio, he's going to jump on in to try and help this Kraken take the turret a little bit quicker. He's actually stutter stepping a little too quickly there, but they do get that turret down. Now they're on to the second turret. T-Tigers is getting focused down by Kaz, but the second turret has fallen. Dienzio is working on the Vein Crystal. He's still alive somehow and has not fallen. They can't take Dienzio down, and he's going to be able to potentially try and end the game. No, they finally get Dienzio after taking out the Kraken, and now Max Green, he can't finish it on his own. And so with that ace, the game will continue for Vision, at least for a little bit longer, but they no longer have any turrets.
Yeah, they're going to be in here just a little bit longer, but as you mentioned, no turrets. We could definitely see a backdoor coming out of this Rona. Dienzio has sold his boots and picked up a Poison Shiv. So that Poison Shiv did finally get built. Will help maintain the Mortal Wounds. As we mentioned, do have the Mortal Wound that comes out of the Foe Splitter. But because a lot of your focus is around using the Red Mist, you're not often using your Foe Splitter enough to actually maintain that Mortal Wound. It's only, I believe, a 2-second Mortal Wound. So when you do come out of that Red Mist, you'll be able to use your Foe Splitter. You'll be building up more Blood Rage with a couple more attacks. You'll be able to extend the duration of that Mortal Wound, because obviously every third attack is going to reapply that duration. And that's going to help them bring down Kaz, specifically because of Kroll's sustainability. Kaz has even gone into War Treads, so that's more health pool that Kaz is going to have. It's going to allow him to live longer in the fight. And Dienzio knew they needed something to look for one last fight to help close this one out. All right, appears we may have lost a tasty bacon. So Tribe, they've got shop control now, although the side of Vision, they are infused, ready to go. Tribe may be looking to force a fight here. They can get some damage down onto Kaz. T-Tigers can come through with that beautiful roadie run damage and maybe set up a play where, you know, again, they only need to find really one kill here and they can push in for the victory. Or if Dienzio is allowed to rotate down through the jungle, if the rest of Tribe can stop the recalls, here we go.
Here we go. That's going to be suppressing fire down. Kaz is very low. The attack slow is out as well. First Divine Intervention used, but they've got T-Tigers down. Kaz extremely low. The heal will come through again. Nice stun gets blocked, and that's going to be the first kill for Tribe as they take down Kaz. And now Dienzio, he's going to go right after this Koshka, but with the heal for Max Green, he doesn't even need to. We already saw how long it took Koshka and Shaded Talent to take out Dienzio earlier. I think Dienzio is just going to try and look to end this game, but a big stun. Going to buy a little bit of time. Koshka needs to get back onto Dienzio, but Dienzio is just way too durable, and he is going to be able to end this game, even with a few stuns coming out from Shaded Talent. It's just not enough, and Tribe take game number 2. Not quite as close this time around, even though the kills were very close. It really felt like Tribe was in control for the majority of this game, but still not an easy game for Tribe. Vision Gaming is putting up a strong fight, but just not quite able to seal the deal against